stored procedures and how to call them from Python code. In the last session, we were just retrieving data from the table. Today, what we do, we write another stored procedure to insert data and similarly to pass parameters. Yesterday there were no parameters, we haven't passed anything, but today what we do, we pass parameters. Okay, so there can be input as well as output parameters. So what we do, we create a procedure that to input parameters so we see here. First of all, we need to create a procedure in the Mysql. I go into this, then here I create Mysql command line. I just log into that. So once I log in, I can open any database. So first of all, I would like to see what are the databases available in this. One is SDDM. Okay, so just I use SDDM. Then what are the tables available? I want to see here. I just say show tables. It can show the available tables for us. There is only one table called sample. Okay, now here I want to create a procedure. It's part of SDBM. So in this procedure, in this database, I create a procedure that is going to add two numbers. So this is a simple procedure I am creating to demonstrate how to pass input as well as output parameters. Okay, then here I do like this, create procedure. Always whenever you create any procedure, use prefix them with USP. It's not mandatory, but it's a convention. USP, here sum. This is the name of the procedure, then we pass here parameters. But before this, we remember one thing, we need to use delimiter. Delimiter, I use here like I can use dollar symbol. So delimiter is set to dollar. Now I can create a procedure. Create procedure followed by USP sum. I am passing here two parameters. The first one is num1, other one is num2. I put like this. Num1 type of data is int integer. Similarly, num2 okay. Num1 this integer type of data. The next one is num2. So this is also integer type of data. Then after that, I want to get the result. But for that, I want to declare an output parameter. That means the stored procedure has to return that value for us. We write here out followed by, say, this is sum, then this is int. This is integer type of data. I have declared like this. So create procedure followed by procedure name. I am passing three parameters. First two are input parameters, third one is output parameter. Okay, when we call, the result will be in the output parameter. Now here I write like this. I have to use begin. So in this, I should add two numbers. Here using set command, we can do it. Set sum equal to, we write it as num1 plus num2. We write this as num1 plus num2. Then here we go with the end. At the end of that one, I should type dollar. So this ends the procedure for us. Whenever it encounters the delimiter dollar, it is coming to end of the procedure creation. So if there are no errors in this, the procedure gets created here. Now what happens? Procedure has been created without any errors. Now I need to change the delimiter back. Delimiter semicolon I put. Okay, so now this is what normal delimiter we have. Okay, so this is going to be normal delimiter. Now we created a procedure with total 3 parameters. First 2 parameters are input and third one is output parameter. We call it as output or out. Whatever we want to use, we can use. So it is output parameter. That means procedure will be sending back the value to the calling program. So through Python program we call it. Now let us go with the Python code. So in the Python code, here what we do, so first of all we need to add connector. We have to go with the Python connector that we have to import. Import what I write in this MySQL dot connection as MySQL. Like this, I can define it. So MySQL dot connection I am going to define as here MySQL. So once MySQL is available, okay, I can create a command. So I can first create a command connection object. Once connection is created, I can create a command object. Okay, so try to use always this in the try catch block. We go with the try, then come to this point here, then write except exception as ex, we say. Then write print ex. Okay. Similarly, we require one more thing. It's called as finally. We go with finally. We put colon here. Then here we write if. So before if I write like this. Con, if con equal to, con not equal to none. So in such cases, we close the connection. Con dot close. We need to write like this. We have to close the connection. So we try to establish connection here. To establish connection, we have to write con equal to, here we need to open the connection. So how do we open connection? Here we have MySQL dot connect. We must use here connect mechanism. So connect is going to open the connection. Because on the top we have used MySQL dot connection. Okay, so let us see yesterday's code. What happened yesterday? This is Python CSV. So in this, calling like this. Okay, so here I can just take this one. So instead of using RLDB, I want to use this time a different database. It is SDBM, because in that we created stored procedure. SDBM is the database name. Okay. So next thing in this, we have to create a command object. First connection is created for us, so we have to go with the command object. So what we do here, cmd equal to con dot, we use cursor. So with this, a command object gets created. So once command object is available, we can execute stored procedure. Okay, we can be executing here stored procedures. So what I do here is output equal to, I write in this manner here, cmd dot call proc. We have a method called call procedure, and inside this we need to specify the name of the procedure. Very first thing is name of the procedure we need to specify. So the name of the procedure is here. Just now we have written a procedure USP sum. In single quote we put it as USP underscore sum. Then after that I have to pass parameters. Parameters I can pass as here a tuple. Like tuple I need to pass here. I put 10, 20, 0. Third parameter is here 0. I can specify this as 0 here. Okay, after this is going to call the procedure for us. After this I can print the values. So if you go with the print, then here I would like to write output. So what it shows, let us see. This is going to print 10, 20 and 30. So first two are input parameters, but third one is what here? Output parameter. The value of 0 will be changing into 30 in this case here. So it is going to print 10, 20 and 30. Like that we get the result. Okay, so we are going to get result in that manner. Now let us see how this works. What it shows, let us see. So here it is Python Mysql sp with out. That means with out parameter. I can save this. Then go to just command prompt here. From command prompt, I come to G drive. Again in this Python CSV. So here I want to execute that. Then I write Python followed by Python MySQL sp with out parameter, that is. I just type here py. So this is saying something error. This is what connector I have to use. I have used connection. This is what connector. I have to open the connection. Now let me once again execute this. Still it says so SQL is not defined, it says. It's correct. So reason we don't have any SQL. In this, what is happening exactly? Okay, if you look at this particular piece of code, so what we do in this, we are opening connection, then we need to call the procedure. But when we go with this, where is the SQL? We don't have any SQL here. This should be what? MySQL. I need to type this as MySQL. On the top, I have written it as MySQL. So therefore, I need to write this as MySQL because import MySQL.connector as MySQL I have defined. So this must be MySQL here. I was doing that mistake, so I could not get correct result. Now when I run this, what it says 10, 20, 30. What I passed exactly? I am passing here three values. The first two are input 10, 20. This is 0, but with the procedure, what is happening here? It's getting modified. What I am writing here, set sum equal to num1 plus num2. So with this, it is changing the third parameter value and returning back. So that's why when we go to the code, here it is changing. It's printing it as 10, 20, 30. But I'm pausing there 10, 20, 0. But whenever we execute, it's returning 10, 20, and 30. If you look at the code, in the code, I paused 10, 20, and 30. 0, sorry. So 10 is input parameter, 20 is input parameter. Sum of the two numbers is here, 30. So therefore, it's printing here the result as 30 for us. So this is called as here output parameter. This one is here output parameter. Further, we have written a MySQL procedure. So using procedure, we are doing like that. Here, you can see. Okay, so create procedure USP sum num int num2 int num1 int num2 int out sum int. So num1 and num2 are input parameters, whereas sum is going to be output parameter. So we need to specify either out or in before the parameter name. Parameter name is what here sum. So before that we need to specify this particular thing. There can be input parameters, there can be output, they can be both input as well as output. So that depends on again MySQL or PostgreSQL. It depends on the databases. Okay. So here I am passing like this. Num1, num2, then followed by this is output parameter. Okay, so it is returning 30 for us. If you look at the code, if you look at the result, it's returning for us 30. 10, 20, 30, it's giving us. So like this, we can invoke a output procedure. Now, one more thing, what we do, we try to insert data into some table. Okay, so for that we write a procedure. For that purpose, I create here some other table. Create table, then write details. Okay, first thing is ID, then I write int, primary key, followed by here auto increment. I write this as auto increment. The next thing is here data, varchar, say some 100. Next thing is here I put value int. Like this, I have here total 3 different columns. First column is ID, second column is here data, third column is value. Like this, I am creating here a table. So table has been created for us. Now let me create a procedure to insert data into this table. So first step, what I do, I define a delimiter like this, followed by $. Next step is create procedure, then procedure name USP, insert details. This is the name of the procedure I want to create. Now the columns what I require are, one is data, other one is here I say value. So these I want to insert. Then I go to this start begin, Then here what I do, I try to insert. For inserting, I have to use command insert into, what is the table name? Table name is details, and I need to specify the column list. The first one is data, second thing is value. Then here I go to values. In the values I specify the first one as here data, the next thing is here again value. Like this I can give the, I can give like this the command. Next thing I have to end followed by, I should use a dollar. Okay. At line number 1 it says an error. Yes, there is an error with the procedure creation. Let us once again see create procedure ESP underscore insert details. I go with data, then I should specify type of data. I haven't specified that. Varchar 100. The next thing is here value. I am typing. So here I should specify this as int. Then go with begin. After that, I can just copy and paste this one. Okay. So I press enter key. Then here I can say end followed by delimiter. Now this is perfect. We can even check this by calling procedure call USP underscore insert details. Then inside this I can pass some data sample, then value is 100 like this. I call the procedure here. See, I haven't used actually the semicolon. I need to go with the dollar only still here. So one row affected it says. Next thing is delimiter, then say semicolon. Now when I say select star from details, I give like this. So it shows ID 1 data sample value 100. So this data is inserted. Now same data I want to insert using my program here. I want to use the program with that I would like to insert data into the consult table. So procedure name is here USP insert details. This is the name of the procedure I have to use, and there are two input parameters required in that. Okay, so next step is what here? I just comment this here. I can comment, then I can here insert the data. Okay, so when I look at this, we have something like this here. So in the same manner, we try to call here. So what I do here is, I should call the procedure, right? CMD dot call proc. Then here I should paste it. So what exactly that is? If I go to command prompt, I can copy this. Okay, so this is the procedure I am going to call. Then it is requiring here certain parameters. I can write like this. The parameters going to be here question mark I put here. Okay, one more question mark I can put here. Or else one question mark I can put here. Then after this I can specify in the tuple. First thing is some other data. Then after that I specify here 200. Like this I am calling the procedure and just passing one parameter here. This question mark data is coming from these things. It should come in that manner. Question mark when you say it's nothing but parameter. So this is the tuple parameter. From the tuple it's going to take data for us. Now next thing here I comment it. Next step is what here I need to find out the stored results. Okay, so I can go with the, so here what I can do is I can type in this manner print result dot affected rows. Okay, so but this is available or not, we don't know. But call procedure we do here. Then in this, what I can do is I am calling the procedure here. Next step is I can go with the stored results. Okay, so we can go with the stored result. Then here we can see it. Otherwise, what I see in this. Okay, this was calling procedure, the last one we have done with an example. In this, how I was calling swipe values no sub one as first also we don't know. So we have created some, the Python we created something. So in that we are using it, not OS functions. So it's not inventors. It's not file read, some other one DB creator I think. So in this we have, when we look at this DB creator, how many records are affected, we can know with this. Then here we can go with the commit. Okay, when we commit to this here, we can write con dot commit. We can write like this con dot commit. Then after that what we do is we can here print how many records are affected. Okay, same thing we take and try to print here. So print records affected is cmd dot row count. How many rows are affected, we can go with that. First we call the procedure, then after that we try to commit it. We are committing, so when we commit, value will be getting saved in the database. Now let us try to run this again. Save this and run. Okay, so it says some error in this. arg1 equal to some other data at line number 1 is saying. Okay, let me go with the list, otherwise when I go with the list probably it may accept. First value is there, then here once again So still it says syntax error equal to some other data. When I write, so why this is error, it should not be any error. Some other data we have taken. We are calling this procedure here. So here, otherwise we remove this. Records affected is 1. So how many arguments are required? We need not specify explicitly anything. Just we can put like this and we can add data in this manner. So when we look in the database now, we have to get one more row in that. We can see some other data. It's inserting other row also. And with this we can know how many rows are affected. Using row count, we could do this. So this is inserting data into database table using a stored procedure. We are calling here stored procedure. With that, it's inserting data. So before that, what we were doing, we were actually just not inserting anything, but we are calling a procedure. To that we are passing two parameters, 10 and 20, and third one is what? Output parameter. It is sending us back the value. 10 plus 20 is 30. It's giving you 30 as result. Okay, but here this time what we are doing, we are calling a procedure with this parameter data. Some other data, then 200. We are passing like this. So when we pass like this, here it's inserting data in the database table. So like this, we can actually use it. So this is inserting data and we are getting the result here. Records affected is 1, it's printing for us. Okay, so like this, we can use the stored procedure to insert data. In the same way, you can try to do with the updation or say deletion, whatever you want to do, you can do in a similar way. Okay, but for updation, you require an ID. So based on the ID, you can do. So if you don't know ID, then it's very difficult to do that because you cannot do. Based on the ID only, ID in the sense it's a primary key. In the given table, there should be some primary key. So based on the primary key, we should actually update or delete. Otherwise, all rows they get deleted. Okay. So in the case of insertion also, there are 3 columns, but we are inserting only 2 columns. Some other data on 200 we are inserting. So automatically third column is getting created because this is auto increment. Automatic generation, this particular thing is. So this is for inserting data into database table. Okay. And once it is completed, always we have to close the connection. That's why we have to use the finally code block. So we try to execute some piece of code. So if there are no runtime errors, they get executed. If it finds any runtime error, then you have here exception. Okay. Suppose if there are no, whether code is getting executed successfully or it's failing, that means if it's coming to exception, always the code comes into finally block. So whatever resources you have opened, you can close using finally code block. So using finally code block, we can close the resources. So like this, we are inserting data into database table.